If you paper-handed the last dip, this might just be your last chance to fix it. In this video, I'm going to give you 10 altcoins that are insanely undervalued in comparison to the rest of the market. If you believe that bull run is not over and 2025 is our year, this is the time to position. Whether you sold early or just sat on the sidelines, I will show you exactly what I am looking at and which altcoins I think will massively outperform in the upcoming months ahead. Do me a favor, press the like button and let's get into today's video. First things first, Ethereum. And everyone is bashing Ethereum at this stage. It's down, Ethereum BTC ratio is just at the all-time lows. We are pretty much right now, we are slightly above the all-time highs for Ethereum in this cycle, in the bull cycle of 2018. Everyone is talking of how bad Ethereum is. People are creating meme coins called ETHart, for example, that are essentially just making fun of people who are still holding Ethereum and looking to Ethereum. But I do believe that this is exactly the time that you want to be located. This is exactly the time that you would want to be buying in. The insane, crazy short-term catalyst that we have is that there are rumors that in May, Ethereum staking for ETFs might actually be implemented, which would be a huge catalyst. You know how all this thing starts. The same thing happened with the approval of BTC ETF in the first place. First, people just start to buy slowly in. Others see the asset going up, others buying in, right? And this snowball, it just increases. And I do believe that the same thing might actually be happening with Ethereum at this stage. Would be very, very interesting to see where this asset will actually be in several months from now. But this cycle, thus far, each and every time we're actually dropping heavily. We were pumping up to at least $4,000. Same thing happened around this summer. We almost touched like $2,000, $2,200, and then we pumped to $4,000. Right now we are at insane support levels with the main support point as the previous all-time high of the cycle of 2018. I don't see Ethereum going lower from here. I see actually current levels, current points as insane entry point for this asset. This is exactly where you want to buy. When the sentiment is bearish, is low, no one wants to do it. Remember what was happened with Solana at $7. What happened right after? Solana did 40x's since the bottom. Who bought Solana at $7? Very, very few. Why? Because they were listening. They were listening to people told the naysayers out there, don't buy it, it's going to be bad, it's a scam. When you have this type of sentiment, it means that you're close to the bottom. And if you're close to the bottom, it means that your risks are actually almost close to zero because the asset just cannot go lower, right? The next thing I'm seeing out there is Dogecoin. The thought process behind this one is quite interesting because essentially, everyone just understands that we have a huge meme coin game running out there, right? In the market currently, a bunch of people are trading meme coins. The mindshare around meme coins is still huge. Retail is mostly sitting in meme coins like news. People who just came into this cycle, they are still sitting in meme coins pretty much at this stage, right? And Dogecoin is your main meme coin out there. The position of Elon Musk and Doge department definitely diminished in the government of the US at this stage. But still, I do believe what we have here on the chart is pretty much just a higher low, right? Which means that actually, if you're entering currently, this also should be one of the best entry points. Now, I don't expect for this thing to play out like in a short-term time frame, right? Although if the market will become really bullish, this thing will be quite bullish as well. I'm just saying that if you don't want to go into the depths of meme coins out there, this is like a nice exposure. I would consider this a nice ETF into all of the meme coin games out there. You probably won't be able to outperform, right? And most likely the catalyst that Trump winning the election won't come, but will it actually be able to set a new high from here? We might be seeing that. I do actually think so. Up next, we have a meme coin of this cycle, which is Pepe. Pepe is at $3 billion in market cap at this stage. This is the meme coin I love. And I do think that a lot of people would actually agree at this stage that we should be seeing new all-time highs from Pepe, this cycle at least. New all-time highs at least 4x from here. And Pepe is your very, very nice beta play to Ethereum. It's almost like this cycle, the market actually decided instead of buying Ethereum, let me just be buying meme coins on Ethereum, right? Mainly because of the fact that people understood that Ethereum is quite a heavy asset at this stage. It's almost like people just left Ethereum for institutions to bid and buy because they have the amounts of money in order to be able to push this asset, right? The market decided to maybe max, like at max, just long Ethereum, right? And not just buy giant amounts of spot, and instead just do all the actions that they wanted with Ethereum within Ethereum meme coins. Like Pepe is essentially the biggest one of them, and arguably, I don't think that it's even arguably it's a fact. Pepe is something that started the meme coin run as we have currently, right? So if you would actually want to, I would say, take slightly more risk, but also bet at a better exposure, I would say a better meme coin ETF from this cycle, because coins from the current cycle, they usually tend to do way better than the coins of the previous cycle, right? Pepe, I think, is a very, very nice bet at these levels. $3 billion for 4x, still the previous all-time highs. I do believe it should be expanding to at least $20 billion at the blow-off top of this cycle that we shall be seeing 2025, 2026. We will see. We'll see. Next on the list is Avalanche. I cannot stop talking about gaming. I do believe that gaming Ponzi will come back at a certain point of time. We obviously had the launch of Gun, which was hyped up by a bunch of influencers, which kind of flopped. I do believe the coin, yeah, it just at $34 million in market cap. Avax is essentially huge layer one. They have a bunch of things in gaming. They have a bunch of things in real world assets as well. They have huge contracts out there with different governments and institutions as well in terms of the technological support. Like different established games, they actually come in to Avalanche subnets in order to build there. So you might think that like right now there is not a lot of activity there, right? Which is exactly the time where you want to be buying, right? But when we will be at the blow of top, and when the gaming Ponzi will be turned on again, I do think it might be a very, very nice exposure out there. And at the same time, like it also at the bottoms currently. So if you're holding this thing, or if you're thinking to long it from these levels, like with low leverage, I think it might be pretty nice position from these levels. It's like your ETF into gaming exposure, but it's kind of very, very interesting. Like the logic here, I just found it myself. The logic that I'm sharing with Dogecoin and Avax is very, very similar to Pepe. And the second gaming coin that I will just provide you with, which I think is also the ETF into gaming coins of this cycle, the same way as Pepe is the ETF to meme coins of this cycle, right? And like Dogecoin is something older and Avax is also something older. So if you want to be like more risk off, you buy Dogecoin and Avax. If you want to be more risk on, you buy Pepe, and you're also buying what? You're also buying Super. Super is this gaming coin that is being pushed by most influencers out there, like Alex Becker and Elliot Trades mostly. And I do believe they still have a nice chunk of audience that essentially listens to them. And I even had these type of thoughts in my head that Super might be like a Bitcoin of gaming. Like it's more about super dominance out there. And through the most of the cycle, most gaming coins, they were doing nothing. Yet Super was kind of following the BTC out there. So it's almost like people just decided like, I don't want to be buying into smaller games. I know that Super will be supported by the bigger and larger influencers out there. So Super is essentially my Bitcoin in gaming space, and I will be buying into that one. And obviously, it's also talking of the previous cycle, but they definitely did some rebranding in the process, because in the bear market, like they were absolutely dead. Like look at this chart, they were absolutely dead. And this is one of the few coins out there actually that is still up somewhere around 7-8x since the bottom of the bear market, which is quite nice because a lot of them, they are not up that much. We can compare it to Avax, right? Absolute bottom, it's only up 2x, right? So Super is definitely a stronger coin, or it's a weaker coin in the bear market, right? Because I also do believe that the reason Solana outperformed that much is because it dumped too heavily in the bear market. So you have to look at these things in slightly different way from my point of view. I do have a lot of meme coins here, but guys, I'm just seeing them as more like your leveraged exposure into underlying assets, right? Bonk, for example, is your leveraged exposure to Solana, the same way as Pepe was your leveraged exposure to the Ethereum, the same way that Dogecoin is essentially leveraged exposure to BTC and meme coin space at the same time. So why I have Bonk on this list is because It's actually quite strong in comparison to older, other and bigger meme coins out there. We can check out the market cap of this thing. The market cap right now, the all-time highs were at $4 billion. Right now it's $1 billion. So I do believe it can definitely be doing something very, very similar to what Pepe actually did and do 4x's at least from these levels and go to previous all-time highs, right? It would heavily depend on Solana. This is one of the oldest memes on Solana. I'm definitely sure that Solana Foundation actually played a role in this one. So they definitely supported this one and helped it to push because they understood the first on the market. They actually understood that what you have to do is just spend your marketing budgets on enabling meme coins on chain. This is the most effective marketing out there. None of the chains yet, even after 2 years, even after, like 1.5 years, they understand it. It's insane. And imagine if you would build a chain where you would put all your marketing budgets into just pumpage of meme coins on chain. It's like you will give people money to gamble on chain, at the same time you will make money. I don't know, it's absolutely insane. No one is doing this at this stage. Next thing on the list is virtual. So you have to have some AI exposure at this stage. And virtuals is kind of your nice infrastructure play. It's almost like buying Solana for meme coins, right? It's almost like buying the coin of Pump Fun if they have a coin. Virtuals is essentially your Pump Fun for AI agents. Virtuals, they streamline the process of just a random developer coming in and creating and launching an AI agent, right? We definitely had this craze happening back in start of the year, January, December, which was pushed by venture capital and venture capitalists that actually invested into this thing. And yeah, definitely was like one of the shady pump and dump schemes. They just have seen that people are eager to buy into AI stuff and they just decided to perform this pump and dump. Daily revenues of this thing are actually quite low at this stage. But all you have to do here, you just have to look at the chart, right? And chart is very, very close to the bottom at this stage as well. I do believe that if you would be buying somewhere right here, like we're up 30%, I think, from the bottom already. But if you would be buying somewhere around here, low leverage longs, I think you shall be doing very, very well. You have to also understand the situation that we're in currently. You almost can loan anything and you're almost guaranteed to make money if you won't get stopped out, if you will essentially be entering with low leverage out there. If you would be just able to hold this loan through the whole like upcoming pumpage as well. And I do believe that many people, they will unfortunately face a situation where they would understand that I could have just long something with size. Instead, I decided to trade. I decided to play in different places and things like that and be active and do some actions. And I actually underperformed in comparison to me, just longing something with size. And man, I'm kind of talking to myself currently, like it hurts. It even hurts to just pronounce these things because I do have a chance to end up like this as well. Like just getting all your crypto portfolio into one coin at this stage, like any coin that I just shared, right? And just putting it on 3-4x leverage, you'll probably outperform heavily in comparison to all these people trying to trade. And don't get me wrong, like you can leave a lower amount to trade out there if you want to, right? But this is the generational play out there. Next thing on the list is SushiSwap. So I was thinking about these DEXs, these swaps. I had Thorchain here essentially as well because a lot of people are talking about it. Sushi I like because it kind of showed nice momentum back in the pumpage of the end of November, start of December, right? It pumped from 0.6 to the all-time highs this cycle, 2.65, which was 4.5x. A lot of coins, they did not show this type of performance out there. Well, I just realized something, guys. I just realized something, that the drop that we had at the start of February, we are lower than that drop currently, which is exactly the situation that was happening in August. First we dropped and then we dropped lower to make sure that people won't be able to long. Man, it's almost like right now is actually the ideal situation to long. Like ideal situation. It's insane. Because we swept all these lows on this thing. Yeah, like Sushi looks very nice here. Sushi actually looks great at this stage. So I think it's a nice exposure to like real world businesses in crypto, I would say, because the only real world businesses in crypto are exchanges, right? And SushiSwap is essentially a DEX. Last but not least, bread. So bread is something that is pumping at this stage. I feel slightly salty that I did not long it on the bottom. So this is type of the play that I'm thinking on. I'm even thinking on just longing bread the same way I longed Pepe and just holding it, right? Because I do believe that bread can actually show the price action of Pepe than it was doing at the start of the 2024, when it essentially went up from 300 million to up to like 7 billion market cap. So it's hard to imagine bread at 7 billion of market cap at this stage, but 3, 4, 5 billion, I do believe we can definitely see, which if you are entering with leverage is a pretty nice profit, right? And most likely, if you're just entering with size on this one, you will outperform everything else out there, right? So I do actually quite like this coin. I do actually quite like the potential that this coin have at this stage. Honestly, I'm looking for a dip myself, but as the case with the Fartcoin, it probably can just continue to go higher. Fartcoin is just a beast. $933 million. Let's see with this one. I was not that bullish on that one because of the consensus, right? And there are some thoughts on the marketplace that this is the play that you should not be neglecting just because of the fact that it's crowded one. You should actually just get in and just hold, right? And it has an interesting philosophy that everything in crypto is a scam. It's like this culmination, it's like this realization of this fact that everything in crypto is a scam, and that's why like we would be pumping Fartcoin, right? This is it. Let me know if you actually received any value from this video, and if so, feel free to press the like button. Thank you very much for watching this one. I shall be seeing you tomorrow. Bye.